Everybody, I'm awake. And it's like, I don't know what the heck time in the morning, but I'm awake and I'm here. And I just thought I'd talk to you guys a little bit about my life. Because the last time I did a live stream, I got lots of questions about me. One of which in particular that I did not answer because I didn't think I was going to have time to answer the question was, what's the difference between living at home with, I presume it meant like with my parents, or living on my own? And there's lots of various big differences. First of all, you still, even though it's not a parent-child relationship, and right now when I live here, it still sort of is, because my parents are always going to be my parents. So in like our family dynamic, I'm not equal. Like, I am an equal as far as an adult, but to them, I'm still always going to be their child, which I think is kind of fair. I don't know. Maybe that's just how our family dynamic is. But I'm not really, I don't even think that that's that odd. So there's that. And then there's, of course, the personal, like, freedom of having more personal space. Because we really, even though we really don't see a lot of each other here, but like there's not very much anonymity to just go and do what you want when you want to. But I don't know how much I'd use that anyway, because I don't really have anywhere to go, because I live in California and everything's still closed. But the biggest difference living here and living on my own is I get to basically take a break from scheduling my every minute, because when I live by myself, because of who I am and how I am, I'd have to hire people to come help me with the things that I cannot do, which means I had to have a constant rotating schedule, because I can't. There are things in my day that I cannot do on my own. So I was a lot more scheduled, and there was a lot less freedom just to eat and drink whenever I wanted to, because then it turns into like a half hour before somebody gets here, then you can have a drink or some food, or like I'd have to think a lot more about, okay, if I want to do a painting per se, let's just say that for an example, I have to then think of all of the paint that I want, all of the paint that I want open, how much paint do I want out, because I only get people for at most a 4 hour block, and in that 4 hour blocks I have to accomplish laundry, eating, cleaning, anything that I might need help with in that 4 hour block has to then happen, because at a minute after 4 hours, they're not there anymore. Because that's the thing, when you hire people to help you, it's not like unless you have a previously established friendship, which I got really lucky. Mindy, that's in my videos, if you've ever seen her, Mindy was my friend before she like came over to help me out or whatever. So there's like already a relationship there, but normally when I hire people, there's no relationship there. So it's very and I'm a very kind person to work for, but I also constantly have to be on my like on guard about being the boss person because that's who I am. In that role, I can't really be so much of a friend because that's how you get taken advantage of if you're too much of a friend in that scenario. Because if those people in your life are only coming over from like 5 to 7 and they don't say boo before 5 o'clock, like they don't call you, they don't like they're thinking of you in a different context than what you're thinking of them, which could very easily lead to like a broken heart. So, and I choose not to do that to myself because that's just bad, bad. Um, so that's really the main difference. And then, I can schedule in more like now I can schedule in more of things on my own time, which not to say I didn't enjoy living on my own because I loved living on my own. Loved it. Like to live with roommates again, I would do that in a heartbeat. If I found the right person to live with again, I, if there was an opportunity right now, if somebody said to me, "Here's the rent, you can afford the rent. It's an accessible place, and I wouldn't have to just live with someone," I would do it because I miss the the freedom of having my own house. Cause it's just nice to have your own place and a place that you can call your own that's just yours. I like I would love to do that again. But at the same time living by yourself gets very lonely. And that was a hard part for me when I didn't know anybody out here was like the isolationness of living by yourself. Because I'm the kind of person that also, when I live by myself, I like to have like 3 jobs because I like to like keep myself busy during the day because it makes the day go by a lot faster, and then you're not having to like have people feel like they're just coming into your house to sit, which people I don't like. People think that coming to someone's house to work is kind of easy, which for me in my situation was never really the case because I was always like trying to plan and trying to do things up until the point that I got lost in the whole thing of trying to be almost too aware of other people to the point that it like took over my life because I was so aware of my staff person's needs, emotions, wants if they wanted a cigarette break. But now that I'm older, I can see the errors in caring too much about like, because if you care too much about their life, then your life kind of gets put on the back burner, because then it becomes ways of making them comfortable, because you're trying to make them comfortable in your space, which should be the opposite, because they're there to help you, but then you feel kind of, I don't know, you get in your mind that you have to like help them and like do like you get all involved in their drama, which is not really a good thing to do. But I hope that answers that question of whether the difference between living on my own and living like with my parents per se. But I love living on my own. I don't think it's a thing that if you want to and if you have the capability to try it out, I encourage every person ever to try it out, because you learn a ton about yourself and about what you like and what you don't like, and how to do things that you aren't going to if you always have the same situation and you have to figure that. Like, if you always have your mom and dad around, they're taking care of of a lot of like the everyday things that you don't think about when you're like, okay, think about this. Like when you're in high school, you don't think about like your food or your like clothes being washed or anything like that until you get older in high school, right? Because usually at some point, if you were anything like me, you had to get a job, which meant your uniforms had to be washed. You had to like, you learn how to manage your time when you live by yourself. You learn how to do things simply because there isn't anyone else to do it. So, and that's I think the greatest thing that you can give another human being is the I guess the pleasure of learning how to do things themselves. I mean, sure, there's things all the time that I can't do myself. Like, never, like, in my life can I do, like, certain things, like getting dressed, not on the list of things that I can do. But I can pick out my own outfit. And things like those kind of things make you feel proud as an individual with a voice and a choice. Like, if you can pick out your own outfit and decide, yes, this is what I want to do, there's pride in like that accomplishment of making a plan and sticking to it and not having to ask anyone else if that's okay for you to do that. Because when you have staff people, then you get to say, I would like to make this plan. You don't get to tell them, because telling somebody something like that does not work. You have to still phrase it in a polite manner and do things politely, because people don't like to be ordered around like that. That doesn't work. You have to still um be polite and mind your manners, but you can say, I want to go here. I made arrangements to go here. And during this, like, I always made a point after a while. It took me a while to get used to that whole thing, like the mentality of having someone and you don't have to ask them what they want to do, because their job is to do whatever you need them to do and whatever you would like to do within reason. So you learn how to phrase things in a polite but firm manner about things. Um, like I made arrangements to go to the the grocery store today. The bus will be here to pick me up at 12 o'clock. So then you'd have your staff person come at 11:30. That way, before you go to the grocery store, you can have all of your, like, if you need help going pee or getting your wallet around or doing or putting your purse on or refreshing your makeup, you can have all that done before the bus arrives. And then you can, that way you have, like, because when you have people, you have to, like, okay, let's say you're going to the grocery store. Well, not only do you have to have, like, some type of idea of what you're going to get at the grocery store, you have to have a way to get all of that stuff that you bought at the grocery store back from the grocery store, which is where when I would take my staff person, they'd, like, help me carry in the groceries and put it all away. So then that would be a task done for the afternoon. But this was, like, way before they had grocery delivery, because now how I would do that, if I had enough money to do grocery delivery, is I would time the delivery just after my person was coming for the afternoon. That way they could put everything away or do me a purpose or anything that I needed done before they had to leave. Like, don't schedule things for too far in advance of the person coming. If you know that you're gonna buy, like, meat or, like, dairy or something, that's gonna need to be refrigerated, because then you're stuck lifting, like, heavy objects from the floor, which I cannot do very well myself. Um, I hope that answers the question. There was a separate part to that question as well about parenting, but I've never been a parent, so I don't know anything about, like, I tend not to have opinion about things that don't, like, I've never had a stake in the game, like, of parenting, so I don't know, like, as far as, I believe it was phrased something to do with, like, the added pressures of parenting, which I've never had the pleasure of being anybody's parent, so I don't know that per se. As far as disability, non-disability, um, I do have another sibling, but I feel like, again, that's not my place to speak about that relationship, because it's not my relationship to speak on. I feel like we have a very normal brother-sister relationship in which he doesn't, like, I'm just his sister. I'm not some sort of special in my family dynamic. I'm not a special unicorn. Like, I have all the expectations that a normal sibling would have on me, with the exception of, like, all the physical things that I'm just, my brain won't allow me to do, like, certain physical things, because that's not how my cerebral palsy works. So, and I purposely am being vague about that, because there's personal, like, details that I don't feel like the internet needs to know my every in and out of things. But if you've watched enough of my videos, you'll get a clue into most of that. Um but I'm just protecting my privacy and my anonymity as far as that goes a little bit, because I do feel like even though I put myself out on the internet, there's a amount of privacy that I want to keep for myself. But I don't feel like the expectations for me as a person have been any different my entire life. Like there's there's obviously, like when I was growing up, there's chores and stuff that I couldn't do, but it was never like a big deal. I just had different chores than, like, if my brother had a chore to set the table, I was the one wiping down the table at night after everybody put their dishes away. Like, my job was to fold the washcloths when we folded laundry. Or, like, there was always parts of the tasks that I could do, and I was expected to do those, like, to my capability. Like, it might not have been done the same way as everybody else, but it, like, just because I had this one thing that made me different, it didn't make me exempt from chores. Like, yeah, I couldn't mow the lawn, but I could. I don't know. There was always another example, if you get what I'm saying. Of so, like, when people say, "Do you like? Did you have chores and stuff?" Yes, I had chores, and I also had, like, the extra therapies and things, because we were always doing some sort of extra therapy or standing or doing, but that was just part of my life, same as everybody else's life. They all have things that they want or were expected to do. That was just like doing your homework at night. I had to do, like, therapy, and it never really was a thing, like, not like in the sense of, oh my goodness, your sister has to do X, Y, and Z. It was always kind of just explained to me, like, this is life and this is what you have to do. And, like, it's not fair, but, like, I wasn't, I guess, raised with the expectation that life was fair and equal, because honestly, it's just, it isn't. And, like, but, and I don't think necessarily that that's a bad thing. It's just reality and living in reality. So, and I was never, like, taught to think that because I was in a wheelchair, I was different. Like, yes, I was different. We needed, I knew that, but, like, a lot of the other stuff that people say comes along with, like, disability came from people outside of my family, because I've always just been me. Like, it wasn't really a thing or a big deal or a, like, we always just made stuff work. Like, it was never anything that anybody had to be aware of being around me, if that makes sense. Like, it was just like, yeah, I have a chair, so what? Like, and yeah, my room was, like, okay, here's the difference. My brother's room growing up was smaller than my room, only because my room was bigger, because I had to have my ginormous power chair, which I've always had power chairs, and manual chairs, in my life because people have different setups in their houses. Like, granted, we went to people's houses with steps a lot less, but like it was not something that I just didn't encounter, because again, that's not something that you don't encounter in real everyday life. Like, do I wish all the buildings didn't have steps uh for ease of access for me? Yes, but like, that's not a realistic expectation for for my, like, in most people's normal households. Like, they're gonna have steps somewhere, and it was never a thing that I was made to feel like a thing that it was okay to make people feel bad about, or awkward, or like, I just never honestly put that much thought into like people having steps, because I was busy doing like other, like, things that I could do. Like, I never really thought about the fact that like, in the context of, oh man, I can't do that. Like, I always like I always wanted hula hoops, because who doesn't want a hula hoop at 10? Like, but it wasn't like a big thing in my head that, like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, that, or the other thing. Or like, oh my gosh, I can't run around or do whatever. Like, I can't, because I just went really fast in my power chair, or like, was always trying to kick the ball with my tires of my chair, or like, so it wasn't really a thing in my head that like I saw myself as different. There was always other people in my life, the awkward reaction that I'd get from people of like, wow, you want to do this or that or the other thing. That was always really weird for me as a kid, because I never really thought about, like, there was things realistically that I knew that I couldn't do, but like, I didn't so much fixate on that until I got into probably middle school, when you're supposed to do things like go to dances, because like, it didn't really matter to me. But the the more that I grew up, the more it became evident that I wasn't the same, which I think a lot of that too is being 14, and you don't, like, at 14 you just want to be the same as everybody else. Like, you want to fit in, and like, at that point everybody's so busy caring about like what they look like and who they fit in with, and blah, like, the list when you're 14 or 12 or anything like that goes on and on and on, of things that you like want to be the same as. So like, to have this very big, very obvious difference, um but any but a lot of that was in my own head. And like, thinking back on it now, I should have just asked where the party was at or what people were doing, because my own shyness was my, like, downfall. So, advice to younger people, younger than me, is ask, speak up, say, let people know what you can and cannot do, because people are always gonna underestimate you when you look different. They're going to assume things, and that your difference extends to things, or like that they have to be somehow more careful of you, because that's what society tells people is that you have to be careful of people in wheelchairs, and you have to like, because they're always trying to negotiate your limits and your difference just as much as you're trying to negotiate it in your own mind. And yeah, some people are going to be jerks, but they're only being jerks because they don't necessarily know any better. And some people really don't care, which is fine for them not to care, because I don't think it's everybody's job in the world to necessarily care about your thoughts and feelings, because your thoughts and feelings and opinions are yours. And yes, they're valid to you and to your experience of you, but no one is an expert in all the things. So I would and you're probably not gonna get invited to everything, but the more you ask about where X is, or getting involved with people and talking, the better your scenario will be, I think. Because I think I could have changed my school experience a lot sooner had I just spoken up and not been so worried about being shy or being cool or whatever that is at, like, in middle school or high school even, that you're worried. Like, don't just ask people to do stuff. You'll find people eventually that want to do stuff. Or even if you don't, do it your own damn self. Like, really, don't worry so much what everybody else thinks. If you want to go to prom, go to stupid prom. Like, do things. Like, it doesn't matter. Good morning, Kat. This was my ramble about life and stuff. So hopefully you can watch on the replay. Kat has been my diehard supporter almost from day one. Ever since we found out each other's channels, she comments on every single stream and video out there, and she's just good people. But I would just say, do it your own self, and you're never gonna know what the heck you can and cannot do if you don't try. Like, but you have to want to put in the effort to do things. Like, going to college, was it easy for me? No. Was it fun? In parts, it was fun. Like, did it take a lot of figuring out? Yeah. Did I have all the answers from the get go? Not really. Like, but that's part of the whole experience of living out on your own and learning things. Like, nobody knows how to do all that stuff on their own from the get go. Not a single person. Like, you just have to try stuff, and don't be afraid to try something new, to develop a hobby, because who knows whether you're going to be good. Like, who knows whether you're going to like cooking. You have to, like, get in the kitchen to try to cook. And, like, maybe don't like, I have a hesitation with the stove because I know way too many people that have burned themselves with hot water. So I have a serious, like, I don't really love the stove or the microwave, but in order to do things, you have to try. I'm just really careful about using my lap as any sort of tray or anything, because with hot liquids, that's just bad decisions can be made that way. But you just have to try and like maybe out the gate don't take if you can go to community college first and get comfortable with yourself and get comfortable with asking. There's no shame in asking for help. If you're not the best writer in the world or if you have a struggle, tell someone, ask someone. You can find help with with everything in life. As long as you try, more than likely you can find a workaround. Or like even like if you can't cook yourself, you should like and you want to go to college and make food, you should be able to like look at a cookbook and say, okay, even though I can't accomplish this part of the recipe myself, maybe I can do like the other 30%, or figure out how to explain things to people to like help you. Say, I want to make pasta tonight. Like, help me make the pasta. If you say that to someone, like, they're not gonna say no. They're gonna either say, yes, I can help you, or like, or no, I don't have time. Like, or you can, like, there's always, like, use the student, like, there's always a lot of those student centered things, and more than likely your campus has some sort of medical person that works there, or like wants to be a nurse, or wants to be a blah blah blah. Use those people. If you're in my situation and you need help with stuff, like, use the people that are going to school to do part of what your life already entails. Like, ask them, do you want a little bit of a side gig? Like, don't ask every friend you have, because I'm a firm believer in like you need to create boundaries within your life, because not everybody in your social circle needs to know that you need help with everything. Like, not that it's something to be ashamed of, but there's also power in having pieces of your life be private, because like people naturally get to have privacy in everything else they do. So you don't have to explain to the world that you need help with X, Y, and Z unless you want to. So not everybody in the world needs to know that you can't tie your shoes, but that shouldn't be something that you should be ashamed of or embarrassed about. Like, but you don't need to tell everybody in the world your life story, because that's not, you need to create boundaries and have some sort of personal, like, everybody in the world is not gonna want to be your staff person or your helper, but just use the resources that you have available, um to find those people that want to help you. And if somebody's helping you too much, just say, you're helping me too much. Like, I never considered a bad thing to say to somebody that I want to try first. I want to, like, even if you want to cook and do something with pots and pans, or like doing things that you think might be risky for you. All I'm saying is be careful, have a plan. Like, don't don't try to lift the 10-pound thing of spaghetti, or don't leave your stuff in the microwave like extra long, like to make that water really really hot. Maybe start it with the water like half warm or something. privacy is a wonderful thing. And again, guys, I'm just one person, and these are all my opinions based on my personal experience of life. Like, so I'm not expert in anything, but half the fun in life is making mistakes, because that's how you learn. And just be normal, because people, like, you shouldn't have the expectation that you're gonna be treated like some sort of special unicorn, because your situation might be unique to you. That is not how the world works. Everybody has to adapt to the world. Is it fair? Like I said, nothing is fair. Nobody on this entire planet has had it easy 100% of the time. Like, sorry. Nope. Not reality. Right, Kat? Everybody has their things that are difficult and hard to do. Right? If I could have kicked myself in the butt a long time ago to quit feeling sorry for myself, because for a while in like middle school, I was a kind of a wallower. Like, I wallowed in like the fact that I didn't have things. But if I would have stopped being so like, I don't have a thing, or I don't have a boyfriend, I didn't get invited to the dance, so go to the dang dance anyway. Like, if I would have stopped talking myself out of things a long time ago, I think I'd be a lot further and taking advantage of more opportunities. But then that's how you learn. So you can't live in like regret for the things that you didn't do. All you can do is keep moving forward and do a better job the next time that opportunity arises. Like, whatever your next opportunity is. The like I I don't ever really think that you should say no to an opportunity unless it's something that you really don't want to do. Like, if you're on the fence about something and it feels like in your gut, if it feels like something that that you should try to 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 do, and it feels okay and safe to you to try, and it's a risk you want to take, what the heck is stopping you? Like, I don't know how to, like, just do things, but always trust your gut. If something feels like off or weird or yucky, or like you don't feel safe in a situation, don't do that. But like, just don't let yourself talk yourself out of, you can't because you're different, or that'll be hard, or like stupid things that we all say to ourselves like 900 times. Like, don't publish that video because you're gonna look silly. Well, okay, but how many times have I looked silly in my life? It doesn't matter. Like, I don't really. Mhm. in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter to not feel, not be silly, or have experienced this thing, because 9 times out of 10, when you start participating in things, people notice that you participate. So then they're gonna naturally, if they want you in the group, or if you have added value to some sort of group, people are gonna figure out a way for you to participate. You might have to help them, because again, it's a thing. People are always apprehensive of anything that's different, different from what they know. So you oftentimes, as the different person, have to teach them how to treat you, and you treat them normal, and they learn that it's okay for them to treat you completely normal, and they don't have to have a special set of rules to follow. Then they're going to figure out how to communicate with you, or how to better, like, have you participate in the activity. Or if you have an idea of how to make something less hard, speak up. Say, hey, let's do it this way, and here's why. Because sometimes people just don't think about, like, this is a way to do something else less difficult. And I'm not saying that all these things are going to be magically fixed, because it's going to take a lot of conversation on both parts if you want to have friends that are quote unquote normal. And because I don't necessarily think that it's good to only have people that look at life through your particular lens, because then you're not taking in your surroundings of other people. So, but that's my opinion. Everything on my channel is my opinion, and it's all gonna be okay. And it's always okay to have an opinion. If you don't agree with me, that's really fine. Not to agree with me, and not to be I don't think arguing with people is a bad thing. Hello to whoever just joined us. It's just me and Kat. We're talking about things and talking about life. And I'm just having a morning stream with you guys, because I missed talking to you last night, because I got all caught up in um Creator Talk with the Whoop Dad. If you haven't seen that, yeah, just take, like Kat says, if something is hard for you, then just take little steps to get there. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to conquer the whole thing in one go. Like, just little steps. And sometimes that little step might be, okay, if you don't have friends and you want to make friends, sometimes you have to go where people are to make friends. Like, okay, let's say if you're at home and you don't have friends and you're bored, so maybe look up a live stream that the topic sounds interesting to you, and then you can join their, or not, maybe not join the show and be on the stream, but you can sit and chat and see what are people talking about, um and then just eventually join in and say hello and give an opinion and have a laugh. And you don't always have to introduce yourself as, hello, my name is my name is Carolyn, and I have a, just, you don't have to start there. Start with what everybody else is talking about, and give them common ground to talk to you. Like, because I know that people notice my difference right from word go. Like, that's not something that I can hide or shy away from. So I don't need to be the captain obvious in the room and just take charge of conversation in that way, unless I'm in an interview type of scenario, because um then I feel like it's more appropriate to mention it from the word go, because that way you're taking the stress off of the employer to wonder and ask about you and your capabilities, because that interview scenarios are always scenarios that you should be in the driver's seat for, because that's the time to sales pitch yourself like no other. Like, why are you awesome? What skills? And if a conversation keeps in a job interview scenario, if the conversation keeps running around to things like "you're so amazing," agree with that, because to just end up at an interview is amazing. So, but I think you should also try to redirect the conversation back again into an interview scenario. So talk about, I'm amazing and my skills are XYZ. And I think those skills fit in with the value of your company, because the value of your company is blah blah blah. Hi, Gator Crouch. I don't think I've ever seen you in here before. Just curious, how did you find me or us or anything else? If you want to talk to us, I'm just a very talkative person. And losing your job sucks. I'm sorry for that. But, thank you, Kat. That was very kind of you to say. Well, I don't feel like, um, mentally being strong is a choice. Like, I just, I don't have time to be woe is me. Like, I don't make that a part of my life that I allow. Like, I don't have time to be sad about my CP, because it doesn't add value to my life to feel sad about something that I can't change. Like, I can work towards improving things But at some point you have to look at your situation and be like, okay, this is the reality of my situation. Can I change it right now at the current moment? No. So therefore you have to accept it in order to move forward. Now I'm not saying that the situation will be 100% that way forever, because I don't I'm not a future, like, I can't see in the future. The only thing that I can control is my reaction to things. And if you choose to look at life as like, okay, this is my life, and I only get to go through life one like this current circle right now, this is the only circle that I got. Like, I can't do anything else about this body that I'm in. Like, why not learn to either, you have to learn to work with what you got. And you can't do that if you're always being sad and lamenting things that you cannot change. You have to focus on the little bits of life that you can control and do the best you can with those, because that's all everybody else is doing. That's really, yeah, the only thing that should be sugar coated in life is cereal. Like, and I think when you stop worrying about the fact that you can't do, like, if not being able to walk really bothers you, which at points in my life has kind of bugged me, but that was mostly when I was younger, because I thought to myself that that was the well, I know that that's the easiest way to be accepted in life, is to walk around, because most people that walk around, like, are very easily accepted in general. But then I also started to find that I was using my not being able to walk as an excuse not to do things. And I think that's a really crappy and very limited way of thinking. And then when I stopped doing that, my world opened up. Like, because I didn't, my whole world wasn't dependent on this one thing that I couldn't change. So then I started looking at, okay, how do I go to college? Well, I have to get good grades to go to college, which means I actually have to be smart and care about doing things, because the rest of the stuff that I was always thinking about, like, I could figure out different ways to do things, because I'm not the only one ever that's been in this situation. Like, but also remember that whatever you feel, it's important to acknowledge those feelings and not deny those feelings. Like, everybody has feelings and emotions, and, like, there are gonna be times where things suck, and you're gonna get frustrated and you're gonna get down, but you can't live in the moments of, like, oh my gosh, I'm so sucks. And, like, there's gonna be times in life where everybody's life sucks, so it's okay to be okay with not being okay, but, like, you can't don't live in a negative state of mind, because I think everybody's amazing and has amazing things to do with their life, and everybody has a point. there's not. I hope that makes sense. That everybody has a point, and like you just have to try things. And yeah, it's scary, and you're gonna get yourself in in scrapes. But I bet you, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get yourself out of those scrapes too. Yeah, music is really good. Um, also a really good way to release things, or find something that you enjoy doing, that you yourself are physically capable of, and excel in the things that you can do, and find joy where you can, and when, like, take advantage of that. Don't, like, and if you need to paint away your feelings, or like release them, or say, or have a cry, or have a scream, or like things get to, like, I don't know, like, because I'm not gonna sit here and say that I never get sad about things, because I do, but I just, it's not a good thing to always be hating your body, or your whatever, like, or the fact that you don't have a house. Like, I don't like the fact, like, do I love the fact that I live with my parents? No. Is it part of my reality? Yeah. Will I live on my own again? Hope so. Like, but was it plan A in my life? Not, no, it was like plan H. So I'm just working with my best situation for right now. Um, thank you. I'm just me, and I always try to be real and honest. And I know some people don't really enjoy that, but it's the only way that I know how to be, is real and honest. So, and I'm a terrible liar. Like, I don't. Ugh, that makes me feel gross about myself. Like, do you have any questions, or can I answer anything else that you're curious about? Um, I'm gonna take a drink here, focus. Just hold on. Mm. Yeah, I was talking about a lot of things on Saturday too. What is tomorrow? Gmail Food Cat. And even if college isn't really your thing, which I don't think college is everybody's thing, like, and I think it's a myth to think that you have to go to college to be successful. Because, no, you don't have to go to college to be successful. You do have to try everything at least one time and not convince yourself that you can't do it to be successful. Like, okay, so maybe you're not a genius at reading. Like, reading is something that I particularly really, if I have to read something, I really struggle with reading. And I went through the special education system myself, and I really, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day, because I feel like I had kind of some crappy examples of what I could be for myself. So, but that's not the only way that you learn things. You learn things by going on things like YouTube and looking up things you're interested in and developing those interests, or using, I don't know, right now I'm learning about film through this thing that I'm involved in, which is through my county, because I'm a person with a disability. I was able to sign up through my county and get involved in this film and social media class for people with all different kinds of disabilities. So now I'm learning different filming stuff, and even if you can't do everything that college requires, you can still go and sit and learn and save up your money and maybe take a pass fail class, or get involved in community education, or pick a YouTuber and like see what they're talking about and see if yourself you have something to say on that topic. Because I promise, if you're interested in something, there's an audience that'll show you how to do it. Or join Skillshare. Skillshare has millions of opportunities for you to learn things, and it's like $10 a month. Um, Take advantage of the opportunities that you have. Maybe college is not your thing, is not your option. College was only my option because, for one, I was able to make that work. And I had good enough scores and things, but I'm old, so I don't really know how that game works now. I don't even know how like college graduation works right now. I just know that you can find opportunities out there to do just about anything. Cause if do you know Molly Burke on YouTube? Gator? She never went to college and never like did anything like that, and she's a huge success now. And also has had struggles with things, with being blind her whole life. So there's examples of people out there that are very successful, that never got an education. I just try to encourage people to try doing things. Like, college is not the only answer. I didn't get to go to college. Like, I went to community college for, gosh, I was in community college until I was 25, I think, when I got to go like to a regular university the first time, because I couldn't afford to do anything else. Like, maybe just pick the things you're really good at and do things that are bring value to you. Because if you find things that bring value to you, I bet you'll find other people that also brings value to. Because you're the only you on this planet that there is. There's not another one. I think Tigger says something like that, right, Kat? I think that's a thing. I'm a big Disney nerd, so I like to compare most things to like Disney, or like, and if you haven't found your passion yet, don't worry about it. Just try everything, cuz that's what life is. Life is just trying all this different crap that you think you might be interested in. Doesn't matter whether you're not perfect at it the first try. Like, really doesn't matter. Also, I think a thing that really helped me out when I was um growing up is because I knew a lot of people with different types of cerebral palsy, and different um and we all had different strengths and different weaknesses, but I was never like made to feel like that made me somehow or less or unequal from other people, because we all had the same thing. Like, because I know there's people that can't talk with CP, but they all had amazing communication systems. So I think that helped a lot to form my opinion of myself, because I grew up with other examples that were a lot more severe than me, but they didn't feel bad for themselves either. I mean, we all have our bad days, because, humanness makes you have bad days, and like, it's okay to be emotional, but like, they all had different things that they were really, really good at. And yes, Kat, I agree. Life is like a buffet station, like, or a box of chocolates, or you just gotta try everything. And like, if it's not your jam, then okay, but you gotta just try stuff. You might as well try it because you're in the line anyway. Like, whether you want to be or not, you're at the restaurant. You got dressed up. You might as well. You paid for the plates. You might as well put stuff on it. Mhm. That that's fine. I love that you ask questions. That's not a problem. Like, that's why I started my channel, because I wanted to be both the example that I did have and the example that I didn't have when I was a kid growing up. Because growing up, I didn't have examples of successful adult people. So I try to be that for other people. And I'm not saying that you have to follow exactly my path in life. I'm just saying, here's me and my example of what I think CP can look like in a realistic scenario. And I think everything is going to be okay. Will it be perfect? No. Will you have, like, yay happy moments all of your life? No. But there'll be a lot more good moments than crappy moments. But you have to have the crappy moments to really appreciate the good moments, I think. Don't you think, Joy? Like, yeah, I'm not the best at interviews either. And the only thing you can do is try, and eventually you'll find a rhythm with it. I'm not very good. I don't get very many interviews. Um, I have a friend that has had way more success with job interviews than me. Um, and she does way better than I am at answering like the job related questions. But at least you got an interview, because that's something to celebrate. Getting an interview, getting the opportunity to try and sell yourself. And 90% of having something to do is showing up. Yeah, interviews are really hard. And I don't enjoy interviewing, and I don't it's not anywhere on the top 10 list of list of things to do in my life. Like, and I bomb probably a lot more than I get. Like, but yeah, I love answering questions, and talking to people and just being helpful. So don't ever feel like you have a stupid question, because the only stupid question is the one that's not asked. There can be some silly questions that I might redirect you to just think about what you said, because obviously some people don't think about what they say before it comes out of their mouth, but most of the time that's just people being silly. I often wonder that myself. Kat, it says that most of the time in interviews they're looking for people with experience, which is true. Which then I wonder, well, how do you get experience if you're never given the opportunity to have experience and somebody's available to teach you? Like, I don't know. That's cool. At least you had some sort of employment and now you can build that on your resume. Which I was thinking, guys, that I put together a series about writing resumes and how to make those look really fancy, because supposedly that helps. Which again, I'm gonna ask my friend that's a better expert than me. Oh, Sherry's here. Hello. Yes, Sherry, right there in the comments, is has a lot more experience with job interview stuff than me, and like is better in my opinion than asking than me at like interview questions. Um, Sherry also has CP, but she has um a different experience as well. Um, so hello, Sherry. Good to see you this morning. I'm just kind of talking about life and stuff and answering questions. Um, I think Sherry and I have known each other, geez, since we're probably babies, I think. Right, Sherry? I go live every Saturday and Sunday, and sometimes on a random other day, but I post videos every Monday and Wednesday. Um, by the way, I have a new question of the week that I believe should be up by now. And I've designed those to be just kind of random questions. There's no rhyme or reason to those. It's just a really silly, fun way kind of think of those as like an icebreaker or just a fun way to start a Monday, because I don't necessarily have the most positive experience with Mondays, or like I don't think Monday, oh yay. Like some people are very happy about Monday, but Monday is just kind of drags. So I designed those to be kind of like happy, positive, make you smile kind of things. And it's stupid questions. They're very silly questions. I'm not really sure what you're asking about the name highlighting, but um thank you, Sherry, for stopping by for a minute. That was fun to see you in the stream. Hopefully she has a good day. Um I'm probably gonna jump off here really quick because I'm getting kind of tired, and I feel like I've been going on for quite some time now. So I hope that you all join me here again on either a Saturday or Sunday, or during my during the week vlogs on a Monday or Wednesday, or sometimes a random other day. I might throw a bonus um up there. Don't forget to go to my channel and like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be looking for you in the comments to answer my question of the week. And remember, you are enough, just as you are. Have a great day, guys.